In the central shopping district of Hong Kong, gold jewellery stores are on every corner. The precious metal is popular with mainland customers, and in May, China imported 5 times more from Hong Kong compared to the same time last year.
I believe as the gold prices increase and market uneasiness continues, there's a good chance this will be a record year.
Jasper Lowe runs a large bullion dealer brokerage firm in Hong Kong. He says the gold rally started in January, triggered by China's economic slowdown. That was then compounded by the uncertainties of the UK's decision to leave the EU and the US interest rate.
And if Donald Trump gets elected, I believe there will be an influx of safe haven investments into the gold market, causing trading volumes to skyrocket.
Gold is traditionally the investment choice in times of uncertainty. China is now the largest producer and consumer worldwide, with total production and imports accounting for around half of the global total last year.
Although there is a decrease of the investors from Europe and from the other Asian countries for the ETF, but there's a 35% increase from the mainland China.
And Hong Kong is playing an increasingly important role in this gold rush. Investors consider the banking setup and the gold exchange here to be safe, bound by a trustworthy legal system. It's with that in mind that dealers from Switzerland, South Africa and Australia are moving here to set up base. This year, China also relaxed its customs controls, allowing more gold shipments to and from Hong Kong.
With the foreign exchange, with the opening up of the Chinese gold market, I think revival of the Hong Kong gold trading market is coming in no time.
While it may be a time of global uncertainties, China's helping make this year a good one for gold. Sarah Clark, Al Jazeera, Hong Kong.
Alright, all praises unto Yahweh, Shimi Al-Shai, double honor to the apostles of GMS, and honor to you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. Okay, so you just seen a video dealing with Hong Kong and their so-called investments towards safer bets, if you will, because what you have is a situation out here in the so-called global markets, and they did mention this so-called Brexit thing, and you got people out there now, they're looking for a sort of safe investment to put their money and their savings in, because they're going to be losing a lot of money. And what you're going to find out is a lot of companies out here and a lot of business, so-called business entrepreneurs and all of that out here in Britain, for instance, by way of this base rate cut, all right, of which they've done that base rate cut to sort of try nurse this economy that we're in right now into some kind of health. You're going to see them, they're going to be investing even more in them so-called safe havens out there and taking less risky maneuvers. So this so-called cut in interest rates is it may prove that it's going to be, not only is it a indicator that these markets are really getting, they're getting mashed up, they're getting broken down, okay, but you also got it to where it could lead to even more of their demise, man. Okay, because the people that you're going to see from this article, the people that are really going to benefit from this so-called cut in interest is the people that are buying houses and taking out loans and so on and so forth. So the borrowers. But if you got them, the vast majority of the people out here, and they're going to be the ones that need that help. But the people that are actually saving, the people that have the money, they're going to be at a loss, and that's probably going to lead to more economic doom, man. Okay, so let me read a little bit of this, I'll touch on it quite quickly. I'm not, I don't really want to dwell on this too long, because you get most of what was being said from the video that I played at the beginning. So it says the Bank of England has cut interest rates for the first time in 7 years. Now I did a video initially about last week, but I wasn't satisfied with the material that I had put in the video, so this is almost like a do-over to get the information more accurate. Because I had made a statement I was a bit unhappy with when I had done further research into this topic. Okay, so it says the Bank of England has cut base rates for the first time in 7 years. It says reducing it from 0.5% to a new historic low of 0.25%. It says, and here's what it means for mortgages. All right, which is the as far as these people are concerned, as far as the common common Joe is concerned, the interest rate is coming down by 0.25% means that they could, they could have, they can afford their mortgages, man. But that's just an indicator to just how terrible this economy is, because what they're basically saying in a roundabout way is people ain't capable of paying for their mortgages. Now, what did you have out there in 2008? You had subprime loans going out there. People want buying houses that they couldn't afford. In other words, okay, and ultimately that led to the economy falling down. Now, see, the 0.5% base rate that they got out there, that was a result of the 2008 crash. Now they're bringing it down even further than that. So in another roundabout way, they're kind of saying that the economy is really in a worse case than it was in 2008. Okay, so you're gonna see a lot of people in a bad case, man. Okay, you're gonna see a lot of people in bad case. See, a lot of people are gonna see that as good news, but really it will be good news if they had risen it to about 5%. Because if they had risen it to 5%, well, that indicates that the economy is healthy enough for the interest rates to be high, man. So that mortgage rates is gonna be higher, but people will be able to afford them because there's money out there, okay. And people with savings, well, they'll be doing all right, because a 5% on savings, that's doing even better than the economy will be doing, man. Okay, but see, in them bringing it down, you see the average person sees that as a good thing, because all they're thinking about is making their so-called lifestyle work. Okay, they're not actually thinking about what that actually means. In other words, that you're in such a bad case that they have to bring it down to a historic low. Okay, your economy is is on life support. In other words, man, that they have to use desperate measures to bring it back to life. And this is what it is. That's why it says a new historic low, because this was the previous historic low. Now it's a new historic low, and I believe it's the lowest point that it's ever been since it was incepted over 300 and some odd years ago. Okay, so it says here is what it means for mortgages and savings and exchange rates and more. So I'll read a little bit of this, but I'm not gonna go into it too much. So it says some mortgages will get cheaper. It says around about 1.5 million homes are on tracker mortgages, and these should drop. It says though fixes won't change, and with others it's not clear cut. It says if you're shopping for a mortgage, while rates may go down slightly, as they're already very low, why wait? Right? See mortgage analysis. So they're telling you it's already low because it was at it's already low at 0.5, and they're saying it's going to get just a little bit lower, man. Okay, so they're trying to nurse this pound back into good health. Okay, it says the pound has fallen further in the wake of the announcements. We saw a further drop in the sterling. It says the pound already brought fewer euros and dollars following the Brexit vote. Okay. And then you go in to see the exchange rate. So what you're seeing is desperate measures, man, to keep the pound alive, man. Okay, the Brexit was the first punch or the first kick or whatever. Now you're seeing this so-called interest rate cuts, and as far as investors are concerned, which are the more discerned amongst the people out there, they see that as an indicator to how badly the markets are actually doing, and therefore that's why you're seeing the value of the pound drop here in terms of exchange rate. So I mean, I could read a lot more of that, but I'm not really gonna go into all of that in depth. You pretty much get the gist of what's happening out here. So with that, I'm gonna say, all praise unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles of GMS, honest you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.